spirit's free and it's present in the moment and I find it present in the moment and I'm finding peace. My mind is floating, my spirit is free and it's present in the moment and I'm finding peace. Public. We want to go public. Yeah. Okay. The courage to sell. The courage to sell is finally here, and you're gonna enjoy my broken voice. So, if you've been following along for a long time, you probably saw last week and 2 weeks ago I announced that I would launch a series called The Courage to Sell, which is exactly what it is about, the courage to sell, especially if you are a woman entrepreneur who is using the online world. In combination of your in-person networking and speaking engagements, I said that it would be a private series on Zoom. So because I got the flu and I'm just barely back, I have a post-it here on my desk. I could show you. And it says, okay, what is the easiest path? So it didn't take me long to decide that the easiest path to communicate with you what I have to say around the courage to sell and share with you actionable, tangible activities you can do to activate your sales process from the inside out. Was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna wait another 2 weeks to promote the Zoom thing. I'm just gonna go live, and I'll be live every week. So today is the Courage to Sell action number 1. I want to share with you during that time together actionable things that will help you not only to take actions every day, because today we're going to share the daily action 1. And let me make sure that my StreamYard is working everywhere. We're having trouble streaming to your destination. What do you mean? Oh, okay. Why? Live video is starting. It's in the group. Okay, bear with me. You know what? What is the easiest path? It's to share. So I'm just gonna share if you are in our public group, private free group. That's what I meant. You will get the video as well there. Here we go. Post. Here we go. And then there is no more issues. All right. So you will get actually 2 outcomes of this time together here. And if you're watching the replay, just put replay. I always like to know who is live with me and who is watching the replay. I will give you one tactical tip and then one mindset shift that needs to happen. So every time I'll be unfolding the Courage to Sell series, the goal is to really help you selling, basically, and give you very tangible ways for you to consistently, daily, taking daily actions so that you can generate interest towards your offers. Whether you are selling services, programs, events, what do you need to do every day that you get up in the morning and that's going to be the one action you're going to take. So that's where we're going today, because the number one mistake that I see, and I was presenting yesterday to a group of new entrepreneurs. I want you to be aware of the trap that happens, and then it leads to not selling and or saying that social media doesn't work for you. So the mistake number one that I see is that um, treating social media as one thing, as a silo. So you're posting and your post doesn't generate any sales or leads or prospect because it's not attached to your whole ecosystem or to your sales process. So that's a number one mistake that I see all the time: posting in silo and not thinking of, okay, what happens when the first person, like if a person stumble upon a post, what happened next, right? How do you go from meeting perfect strangers on the internet to guide them through your content and your sales process to become a client? The second mistake that I see all the time is that you think that you have to reinvent the wheel each time you post, and you're very worried that you already said it. I get that all the time with my clients. We already talked about this. Well, yeah, and I'll go deeper on that today. Repetition is really key because that's how human works in their brain. The third mistake that I see all the time is, and if you've watched my TEDx, it's you don't tell us what you sell. Like, you have amazing posts and all the things, and then 9 posts later, I still don't know what you sell. So if you're a buyer like I am, and when I'm ready, then I'll go to someone else because I have no time to waste. Oh, let me check something here. Here we go. I think it's gonna be better in my Yeti here. Okay. Um, and then another mistake that I see all the time is being very quiet about who you want to work with, what you believe in, what you stand for, what you stand against, and that leads to the fifth mistake that I see all the time, is to completely avoid your story that really shaped who you became as an entrepreneur, and that is your actually unique differentiator, right? Nobody else has your story. So those are kind of mistakes that I see all the time, and that's why I want to go through those, because if you're not aware of this, there is no way that you can shift. You can shift your presence online, especially if you decided that the online world is one of your source of leads, right? You don't have to be on social media. I always say that. You don't have to, but if you have chosen to, then I want you to pay attention to those remarks that I opened with. Here on my planet, I always say very loudly that your online visibility can only grow at the pace of your inner visibility. Wherever you hide and lie to yourself will show up in the way you post on social media, in the way you promote your services, in the way you sell your services. So if you don't know me yet, I'm Angélique Binet. I'm the founder of Social Media Love. I bring 30 years of experience in journalism, communication, and digital marketing in France, in Canada. I worked for a large organization in France, Radio France, Le Figaro, when I first started, and then Radio-Canada, CBC in Canada, as well as for a large organization where I am a paid media strategist. So my most recent appearance includes, a TEDx that was just a few months ago in Atlanta, a TED Talk, and then I just published, I don't know if you can see here, my book in May. Are You Visible, and what happens in your business when you show up for yourself? That's me in a nutshell. And I help women entrepreneurs to fall in love with their fears of becoming visible. When it comes to recruiting new clients online, building offers, raising your price, and structuring your offers in a way that is perceived high value, creating high ticket offers, and creating content that shares not only your expertise, but also your authority in terms of, you're a big deal. And how do we translate that in a post so that the people who are browsing the internet are, being repeated by you, what you stand for and why they should trust you, basically, right? So I'm here to talk about a topic that really goes beyond posting on social media. That's the thing, because your voice matters and really makes a difference. Every single day that you use your voice online, it makes a difference. And if that voice can bring you money by a simple post or a DM, or by bringing that energy that you desire to bring to your potential clients online, then it can literally change your business. It can change the way you can become excited about being on social media, whatever it is for you. So why should you listen to me? I think it's really important, especially right now, to stay focused and calm and nail down your message and repeat your message like never before. Because a lot of people right now are, we are all, hearing so many things and processing so many things. So the things that can anchor us is the thing that you know how to help people with. That's your expertise, right? So it's doubling down on sharing your message. Some people are going to need you even more right now. So it's time for you to keep showing up. If you're not showing up, then to start showing up. And I can help you with this. So that's kind of the idea behind the live. And remember this, there are about 5 billion people on social media. 65% of the world is on social media, right? That's a lot of eyes and a lot of potential clients. It's also a lot of, overwhelm that I hear a lot about from my clients. So let me add this. Strategy is amazing, but I think it's overrated, because your voice is your power. You are the sales page. You are the person who can sell your programs, your services, your events from the place of who you are as a woman entrepreneur. And trusting that, oh my God, trusting that is a journey, and it's a game changing. It's like, it makes everything so much easier when you can anchor in that truth. So that's why today I want to shift the way you see your relationship with, making money using social media, your relationship with your visibility towards yourself, and visibility towards the people who are discovering you every day, or who have been following you for months or years. So I'm curious to hear from you. How many of you have the desire to get clients from the internet, right? And maybe how many of you already do that, but there is something that tells you that you could go beyond that, even either having more clients or bringing clients that you really, I call them the soulmate clients. So if that's you, you are the right place, because I want to talk to all of you. And so the first thing that I want to share with you is that, when I first started posting on social media to get my business out there, I felt overwhelmed. I felt, I remember my very, very first live video. And it took me hours to push the button. Okay. I was in that office actually here. And I had a pile of books. I put my phone on the books, and then I had a pen. Another time I had a huge, giant notebook. And I had a food business at the time. And I wanted to teach people, I wanted to show my expertise and teach people the eight best ways to eat avocados. So I had drawn everything on like, it was kind of pretty. And then I pressed live finally. And then I was teaching way 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 ways to eat avocados. Not a single soul showed up, not a message, not a comment, nothing, not a like, nothing. And I remember that I didn't even know where to look for my video after. But that's kind of my very my beginnings, right? And I was like, okay, nobody cares, or I don't know how to do videos. Like there was nothing. And then maybe a few weeks later, I was at the grocery store where I live, and then someone says, "Are you Angelique?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Well, she said, You don't know me, but I know you from your video about how to eat avocados." And that day, I was like, I looked at her and she says, I want to tell you this. You changed my life. My son is such a picky eater, doesn't eat any veggies. And then I found one way to have him to have avocados, and he liked them that way. And that day, it really incurred in me that you never know who's watching, but there is always someone watching. Always. Never doubt about this. This is really at this moment that everything changed for me. Because even on days like today where, I just come out from the flu and I could say, oh, I'll wait, another week or something. Hi, Cynthia. Awesome. So I remember very well that day, because even today, I know there is someone, and at least there is Cynthia here, and then there is Helly here on Instagram. I know that there is someone watching, and I know that I'm going to impact someone today. So when you know that and you believe this, everything changes. Everything changes. So this is why I'm going to make a fast forward in history. I came up with this desire to help women to amplify women's voice online and offline, one post, one video, and one belief at a time. And I came up with a methodology called the Visible Method. And I use Visible as an acronym. So and today we're gonna just take two components of that V, but basically the V is your voice. Your voice. The first I of Visible is your ideas. The third letter, S, is the stories of your life that shaped who you became as an entrepreneur, that are not to forget when you promote your programs or events or services or whatever you sell. And then the second I is your irresistible offer. How excited are you about your offers? It took me a long time personally to get excited, because the fear of selling was a real thing, right? And still is at certain level. So, and we'll go deeper on where those fears are showing up and why and what it does. And then your B. The B of Visible is belief. What do you believe? What type of belief do you bring in your industry? What are the things you believe in that others don't commonly believe, but you believe it, and that's why you stand for them? And your clients, what type of belief do they have when they come to you? And then you help them shift their belief, and that's how the transformation happens, right? So, and the L and the E. So the L is your leadership. What type of leader are you? How do you lead yourself, when you are in a phase in your business where you rather hide than do a Facebook Live? And what type of leaders are you in your industry? What type of leader are you among your clients? What type of leader are you among your community? And then the E is your expertise. And most of the women entrepreneurs that I have met have an excellent expertise at something, and that's why they created a business, because they knew to do something very well, and they're like, well, now my circumstances have changed. I know to do this very well. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to monetize it. Usually that's kind of the story behind it. So I want to share two shifts for you using this approach that I use in my Visible Method. The first shift is it's going to be the tactical one, the very and I'm going to share exactly that, because yesterday when I did that presentation, that came up a lot. It's what is an action you can do daily to um, generate interest in your offers. And I'm gonna blow your mind. You're gonna show up. That's the number one thing. Don't try to overcomplicate. How do I sell online? Well, first you got to show up. You got to show up. You can post an image with a text. You can post a story. You can post a reel. You can post a Facebook Live or LinkedIn Live like we're doing right now. You can post a carousel that speaks to your audience needs or desire, for example, right? So that's the thing number one. So when I work with my clients and when they come to me, they are either overwhelmed by posting or they're already posting. But so if you're already posting, I'm just gonna bring to you an invitation to check your post, or if you don't post, to create more posts that kind of addresses the like, know, trust, and buy factor. Marketing is the same, has been the same for the history of times, right? It's all about series. No, I don't need you. It's did I lose all of you? No, it's somewhere here. Yes. Okay. It's about, first, tell me that you exist, right? Let me know about you. Who are you? The second kind of type of post you can do every week is something around what I was explaining. What are your values? What do you stand for? How do I start to sense that you are different? And it doesn't have to be like a big difference. I used to believe that it had to be so different that I was so boring, right? It's not about that. It's about taking a stand. It's about saying things that you really believe, that really helps your clients, things you have experienced in your experience with your clients that makes you believe this thing. So it's being fully expressed around your belief, what you stand for. And I find that in that bucket of post, using your story is very helpful, because your story, and that's what, if you grab my book, you'll see that there are at least 5 or 6 stories of my life that really shaped who I became as an entrepreneur. And that will help you get people to know you. Then the third bucket is to show us that you really do the things that you say you do. So, I like to share behind the scenes posts or testimonial or interviewing my clients, or maybe you've been interviewed by the media, so sharing this, or maybe you wrote a book, or you went on a TEDx stage or another stage. Even in the boonies, anything works, anything in that type of content, because people are going to start to trust you, because the human brains wants proof that this is true, that you do the things that you do. And then the fourth one that I told you at the very beginning that a lot of people skip is tell me exactly what you sell. And so that, I would say, that's the shift number one, is that you don't have to post every day, and you don't have to post everywhere. You can choose one platform, and I would always recommend to repurpose your content to 1 or 2 other platforms. Because if you've been with me for a while, you know that I've lost my profile 4 times on Facebook and rebuilt from ashes all the time, right? So one place where you pour your heart and you have this vortex of energy that you build with that community, because building an audience is the foundation, right? So if you can focus your energy and your heart on one platform, the one you like, don't make it complicated, because time ticks. Like if you spend months before figuring out where do I want to invest my energy to build my audience and connect with people, you're going to waste your time. Just go with what you love, and your people will be there. You will nurture that. So for me, I use my Facebook profile as a content creator, and my second platform is LinkedIn. Do I have other platforms? Oh yeah. And I repurpose, but my energy is with you mostly on Facebook and on LinkedIn. All right. So that's how I do everything I do, and I repurpose everywhere. So that's the number one shift that I want you to approach. To bring interest into your offers, you got to tell me about your offers in your post. Okay, so that's the shift number one. And that's why it's really important, because people get it wrong when they start spreading their energy everywhere, and then nobody wants, like, it's already tiring if you know you have to do like all those platforms, and then you want to do different content for this platform and this platform. That's just tiring, you know. And so when you work with me in the Visibility Amplifier and in Magic with Social Media Love, which are my two programs, you know, we don't really care about the algorithm. It's very interesting because, you know, one of my amazing clients, she's on LinkedIn, and we started to do LinkedIn Live, and she got so much engagement and reach outs and stuff like this. And you know, she told me LinkedIn usually doesn't recommend videos that are longer than 90 seconds or 2 minutes. I don't remember. So we went for 12 minutes, right? So at first, I would say, at first, and you know, I'm not at first, and I still don't listen to the algorithm. Do what feels good to you. You know, if you have a message, I don't want to cut it because an algorithm tell me to cut it after 2 minutes. I want to talk to you. I will talk to you, right? So that's kind of your actionable tip for today. Select the channel that you enjoyed the most and commit to post at least, you know, 4 times a week, and make sure that one of the 4 times is about your offers, and invite me to buy from you, right? And who did I hear that? I think it was yesterday in one of our communities, in our paid communities. Someone said, well, I posted about this, and someone just bought it from me. Like, she was surprised that, you know, she said online that she was offering this or that, and then someone bought it like almost right away. Okay, it's not always right away, but it could be right away, and being open to that. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you in terms of your shift number one. I really hope that it brings a lot of lightness to you. Now let's go to, you know, the shift number two that I want to bring to your attention. Because what's happening is that, you know, the real bottleneck in your presence online is really not, as I said, you know, the algorithm or what to post and the format and, you know, what is the best way to post to get clients. It's really you and your fears and your resistance to visibility. And your mind will actually, you know, do everything so that it doesn't show like this, but it feels like, you know, you're sabotaging exactly everything you desire to do. So that's why I call this series Courage, because your mind doesn't like anything that is unfamiliar. So if you've never been really consistent exposing who you are, at the core of who you are, who you want to work with, and why you care so much about what you do, and offering people to work with you like directly, you know, it will hijack your nervous system. And literally, you're going to start thinking, you know, but, you know, I'm not ready for this. Oh, it's not the right season right now. There's so much going on in the world. All those thoughts will help your system to stop you right in your tracks. And if you're not aware of this, then what happens is that you're not going to post. you're not going to post. And then your mind wins and your dreams lose. That's as simple as that. That's why when you work with me, we do a lot of mind and body work as part of our sales strategies, our visibility strategies, because there is no world where there is not that fear of visibility that shows up. And so yesterday I got a question, around how do you make how do you stop stopping yourself with your fears? And I'm going to tell you the same here. Like, this is what happened to me. I had to learn how to dance with my fears. And it's all about using your nervous system, using your mind in a way that you tame your mind to show you evidence that you already are going in the right direction. You're already there. You already have the 15 clients you want to have. You already have the beautiful, whatever is your vision for your business. That's why when you work with me, we start with your vision. You learn how to anchor so deep in your vision every day with specific ritual that there is not a day where you're not going to sell what you sell or post or do something in action. And we'll go through different action. Today, I was focusing on posting, right? But your mind needs to be tamed. And there is a beautiful way to do this that we do all the time when we work together with my clients, because if you don't do that, then it will stop you right there. So that's the thing that I wanted to share with you, because the one of the behavior that I see a lot, and you're going to tell me if you see yourself, that is perfectionism. Spending an hour to write a post, looking for the right words, and then posting, then deleting, and then scratching your head for weeks on what should I be talking about. But perfectionism is a protective mechanism. And the reason it's important is that if you're not aware that you do that you want to control everything, even what people are going to think about your post, you will barely post. And it will always feel heavy, because as soon as the fear of being judged by others kicks in, then you gonna want to control the message and make it perfect. Except there is no perfect, so you will never get where you want to get, right? So when you don't let go of perfectionism, it looks like this. You end up rewriting your post, right? You delete them, and then again, your mind wins, your dream lose. Know that there are 365 days in a year. So even if today your post doesn't really vibe with you, it's okay. Tomorrow is another day, right? So it's not, a switch. It's just a switch to turn off and on. Perfectionism is really an adaptive behavior that you've been having for, it probably shows up in other part of your life. And it's rooted in past experiences that led to rejection or judgment or abandonment. So that, so when it's time to grow your business and your visibility, those, traumas, activation will pop up. And be the cause of feast and famine, for example, in your business. That's my story, right? And I know that the more I focus and place my focus and my attention on my vision, on what is true about me, about the work I do in this world, the more my business grows. The minute you let your mind go where it wants to go naturally, which is outside of your inside of your comfort zone, everything you desire is outside, okay, of the comfort zone. And we are wired in a way that if you go outside of your comfort zone, you could die. Basically, for the nervous system, it sounds and feels like this. And then, I just had an experience. So I was sick in bed for almost 8 days, and I barely did my meditations. I was really sick. And I was like, oh my God, how do you keep doing your practices when you're sick? So I guess it's something I need to develop. But I came out of those days like all me. I was thinking things that I didn't think anymore. And then they were back there. I'm like, who is that? Right? Whatever you think is what is your current reality. So if you don't have the clients you want to have right now, there is a thing that you're thinking all day, all night. And that's kind of what is stopping you when it's time to post, for example. And most of the time, it's subconscious. So one of the most common beliefs that my clients have is, I am not enough to raise my price. I am not worth self-worth. I'm not enough. I'm not expert enough. Who am I to charge prices like this? And then they give so much free stuff all the time. And then what happens is that there is resentment because a business needs to pay the bills, right? So if you keep, giving away, not because you want to give away, but because you are scared and it comes from a place of scarcity, then you feel scarcity in your business and in the way you sell, in the way you show up online as well. So I want you to notice today when you're going to be posting, allow yourself to embrace the truth of who you are, and ask this question: what? Because most of the time, those things are related to things that happened to us when we were younger. Something happened, and in my TEDx, I quote, maybe when you were a little girl, you were sent to your room when you were too loud, or when you were crying, people were like criticizing you. So you had to build a kind of a new behavior so that you were tough and superwoman and super controlling, right? So ask your little girl the next time, which is today or tomorrow, Monday the latest, right? When you're going to be posting, ask your little girl, what do you need from me today to feel safe and being seen? And listen. She will tell you. And then you tell her whatever she needs so that she feels safe. And then you do your post. This is a beautiful practice that I teach as well to my clients. So that was your shift number 2, right? So number 1 is you let go of, the algorithm and stuff, and you do you post your posts, and you don't go everywhere. You focus, you bring your heart online where it belongs for now, and you repurpose on the other platforms. And then you stop splitting yourself thin, because at the end of the day, you don't post. If it's too much, we skip the things that are too much, right? And your shift number 2 is knowing that the only thing that's going to happen is you stopping yourself, because of one of the big one is perfectionism and what it means, and if you're not aware of this, you will sabotage your presence online and your sales process all the way. That's my story. If you read my book, you're going to see that I explain it like in depth. So that's kind of our 2 shifts for you today. Now, what's missing though in all of this is that how do you transform a post into a sale, for example? Or how do you go from feeling so perfectionist to cool to post anything any day, right? There is a gap, and it takes a community. That's what it took for me. It takes support, and it takes to literally change the way you talk about your social media or your any type of visibility. It takes to change and shift the way you look at your relationship with money. It takes also to change the way you talk, think, and believe about, yourself. Do you really believe in yourself? And that's where courage comes in. I have a sticky here that says money follows courage. Who do I need to be that courageous person, right? So just knowing that you need to let go of perfectionism and post, 4 types of posts a week is not the only thing. It takes an identity shift, and it's visceral, it's cellular. And it also takes a system to sell, to go from social media to a sale. So it takes both, and your capacity and your skills to post on social media and bring leads to you will be developing as you become that identity person that you want to become, that person you want to become. And that person doesn't take any of the decisions anymore. When you stop working with me, we let your higher self to lead. The person in your vision, she is the one who's going to lead. And this is why now I teach the mindset of visibility first, as we develop the social media content, the sales process, and the offers. Because too many times, even if I was giving you the best strategies and tactics and doing it for you, you would not use it. The women in my program would not use it because they were not ready inside of them. They were so too scared. Because when you win, it's a thing. You're going to win. You're going to win the game. So you got to learn how to dance with your fears. That's number one. The fear of being heard, seen, and paid, and being available to receive the money. That's a big thing. And to work with the clients that you say you want to work with. So that's why, I want to invite you to this 12-week program that will be starting in March. This is, I call it the work that works 100% of the time, because it does. I did that work on myself 5 years ago. And now I took the full framework that helped me so much in my private life, in my business, in my relationships, and I use it for your visibility online. And it's mind-blowing because it works all the time. So for example, in our last cohort, I'm going to explain kind of to you how it works. It's 12 weeks. 12 weeks that's going to change your business and your life, basically. And we touch so every week you have a training where I teach you how me and my colleague, collaborator, coach Kim, we teach you how, number one, build a vision for your business and your visibility. Then after that, we kind of play researcher, and we observe you observe yourself, and you see where in your visibility you're hiding. And this is where the fun starts because it's so subconscious, the way we hide, that I was a person who I always been very visible online, but I was hiding. And I remember one of my coaches was like, Angelique, you're still hiding. What the fuck? I'm here every day, I do live, and I'm still hiding. And I couldn't understand what she meant. And then until I wrote the book. And then, so it's bringing that part, like it's going at it very raw. No layers, no hiding. And that takes a skill, and it takes a new way of being, a new way of talking, a new way of being calm. And in this season that we are right now, we're going to have to exponentially be calm, so that when you're calm and your nervous system is calm, you can use your brain fully to take the best decision for you, for your clients, and for your family. So that's what we do. And then there is a lot of room for coaching for your mindset of visibility, for your business, and for your sales process. And what we do for 12 weeks, and that's the part I find mind-blowing, because as we work all the 10 steps to rewire the way you think about your visibility and your business, we do a quest, and you have kind of a challenge a week. And so much happens with that quest. So I think in the last cohort, we had someone who barely had 15 clients in 1 year and had 15 clients in less than 2 weeks, 12 weeks. We had, and then when you start with working with me, we always have a money goal for the time we're together. 1 or 2 of the women who were in our cohort reached their goal. Like we don't even go deep on the strategies and tactics. It's really about, how to change your behavior around, selling, around promoting, and around showing up online, right? And just that, and the quests that are very tangible and tactical in your during the time of Magic with Social Media Love, just that changed the game. So that's why I'm offering that every year. And we are starting on my birthday, which is March 27th. So I want you to know that, because, I want you to have a chance to get a clear vision for your business, focusing on feeling safe to become that entrepreneur, visible entrepreneur, influential entrepreneur, bringing your authority that people like, oh, I want to work with her, right? And relying on your energy before the strategy and the tactics. That's the biggie. So I want to invite you to reach out to me and learn more about this program. And I'm going to tell you something. So here's how it works. For 12 weeks, you have 12 trainings, 12 coaching sessions, and a community of amazing women who are friends for life. And you have that visibility quest that unlock the game. The total value for this package is $5,000. But if you, if you rather do installment, we do weekly installment of $500. So you could start at $500 weekly, right? So what I want to tell you is that you can come for 12 weeks with us, and you have the full framework of Magic with Social Media Love that change not only your business, but your life. Or if you wanted to, and you know deep inside of you that you want to have the support of a community, my support as a business visibility mentor and mindset visibility strategist, and you want to come with us for a full year, we have support for a full year. And when you come for the full year, then you get Magic with Social Media Love as part of it. So you don't pay extra for it. So I want to give you that option. You're more like a short-term person, and you want your Magic with Social Media Love, and you'll see after. Or you want a community, you want me to have an eye on your business for at least a year, then you come to me. Anyway, in both scenarios, I want you to have a call with me so that we can discuss that out, so that I understand what you need right now in your thing. And I want you to know that this week, so we are February 8th, people who are booking their call with me before Friday 14th, before the end of the day of Valentine's Day. So what you get as a gift when you book a call, and then if you decide to enroll in Magic with Social Media Love, then you will have a social media love audit. Yeah, a social media audit, where you and we spend 90 minutes and we kind of go through an audit of your online presence. So that's all I have to tell you for today. I really want you to know that, as I said at the beginning, everything I taught you today sounds so basic, but is the key of how, for example, in the last quarter, I generated 100K by doing the things that I told you and working on my mind and my body and posting as I explained to you. So this will help you big time. And it will be a shift in your behavior, in the way that you see visibility and the way you take action daily. So I'm going to recap, right? Your daily action, and I'll go through different daily action each time we meet. This one requires two things: a shift in how you post. Remember, you don't have to post every day. Go back at the beginning, 4 types of post, and focus on the platform that brings you most joy so that you can nurture that family on that platform while repurposing on other platforms like I do. And the second shift is that if you're seeing yourself being a perfectionist, wanting to control the before the post to when it's posted, and you are checking your post every second minute to see if there are comments because you're worried that people have comment, or is there any comment, or you're a perfectionist, this is a sign that you are sabotaging your business, and it has nothing to do with your business, right? And that's why I want you to become aware, because there is nothing that changes when you are not aware. And for me, that was a biggie, is to become aware. So remember, if any of this speaks to you, the only thing you have to do is to make sure that you book a call with me so that we discuss if Magic with Social Media Love is for you. And when you book your call before Friday 14th, what happens is that if you confirm that you want to join us, then you will have a social media audit with me. We spend 90 minutes together. So that's all I had to say for you today. I'm glad I did. And I am declaring that the Courage to Sell series is officially open. Ciao, ciao.